All right. I'm going to see if this is actually working. Okay, let's see. I'm trying to see if Restream will actually work for me. Oh, it's working. Fantastic. All right. I'm back onto your working on Max the dog here. I did put his eyes on because I was styling his hair. His he looks like a Furby right now. Um, these are fake ears. These are just ears I put on to see. But what I'm going to talk about right now is the nose, which this is the way I do it. Um, it's basically just it's uh, it's a piece of L200 that I kind of shaped with a razor and some scissors to get the general shape, and that's that. Let me go get a. Obviously, I wasn't particularly ready, as always. One second. I'm still learning about live streaming in particular. All right. So I'll show you how I do the noses, since people actually ask about this quite a bit. Okay, there's the nose. Okay. So what I was getting was I use this stuff. It's called Propoxy 20. I believe it's the same stuff as. Um, okay. So as long as you keep it out of your eyes, it's okay. I just want to make sure. This is stuff. This stuff is used to repair um, like plumbing stuff, but it's basically the same stuff as the epoxy sculpt. It's um, a two-part epoxy, and what I do, is the biggest problem with this stuff is it's super heavy. You don't want to add too much weight to your puppet, so but I do like that it gives it a nice hard skin. So what I do, it's a two-part epoxy. The white and the black you knead together if you can ever get the plastic off. Okay, so you kind of knead it together. Should be wearing rubber gloves, but I never think to use them. So you want to basically turn the black and the white into this gray. Oh, I need one other thing. So you want to have rubbing alcohol on hand. And basically what that does, you just put a little bit on your fingers and then it won't stick to your fingers here. And you can also use it to smooth it out. And I didn't get nearly enough, but so what I do is I kind of put a thin layer. I don't think I mix that up quite all the way. And you have 20 minutes to do it. But you just start kind of putting it on there like clay. I suppose you could use foam clay too, although I've never used foam clay. What's nice about this stuff is it actually blends with, like, if you don't have enough, like I don't have enough here, it actually blends with it pretty well. And once it's hard, you can sand it. And I also use the Bondo spot putty, the red glazing putty on here to smooth it after I've sanded it to fill in any problems. And you can, it molds really well. In fact, I've done little statues out of this stuff. They do end up really heavy. And you only do the front, so that way you can still, well, there's really no reason to do the back, but the biggest thing is that you can pin it on for placement if you still leave it rubber or L200 on the back. So I don't know if they want a realistic nose, more realistic nose, or kind of a cartoony nose. I'm just going to use a cartoony nose, I think, because they're easier. But you can actually sculpt nostrils on here. Basically, you're just getting all the L200 covered so that when it dries, it'll have kind of a plasticky cover on it. I think I had just enough on here. And it doesn't have to be a real thick layer. It just has to be covered completely. Much like a lot of my projects, I have a lot of alcohol involved with them. No. Okay, so it's starting to smooth out. So it's basically kind of I guess a 4-step process that I do with this. So first step is we'll see how many processes it is, but I think it's 4. I mold it out of L200, or I carve it out of L200, and then I cover it with the plumber's epoxy, a thin layer of it. Then I sand it. So that's third step. Fourth step is I go in with spot putty and I kind of clean it up a little bit more. So that's 4. So it's that, and then I sand it again with usually wet dry sandpaper at that point to make it nice and smooth. Then I hit it with a primer, and then I hit it with a couple of coats of Plastidip. And you get that kind of rubbery nose that you want. Looks like Superman's shield. Okay, so I may put a little bit more on here after it dries to make it look a little bit rounder. But for the most part, that's going to be his nose. And when after I do all that stuff, that's, I don't want to get anything on here. That's how I got Eddie's nose here. So that's basically all it is. It's L200. And sometimes I even use Stacy Gordon's Puppet Pie eyes. Cut one of those in half and kind of use that as the nose, and then do the same thing. Cover it with the plumber's epoxy. So it's not giving off any heat yet. So let me put this away. So this isn't the time for it, but this is the other product I was talking about. This Bondo, I said amazing, glazing and spot putty. And what you do is you basically, it's air dry, so you just basically put it on there and let it dry. It takes about 20 minutes, and then you can sand it and make it nice and smooth. Pretty much nothing I use to build puppets is actually used for what it's supposed to be used for. But okay, so I'm gonna smooth out a little bit of this stuff. It's a nice stuff about the thing about the stuff with a little bit of alcohol is it does smooth up really nice. And when it gets to be where it's actually generating a little heat and it's starting to firm up, you can still come in with the alcohol and you can still smooth it out. So that part there is not great. Okay, I'm gonna leave that thing alone for now. Now, when I was doing this, like putting the eyes on, these are just safety eyes that I cut a hole through the fabric and the foam, and then I could attach it through the inside of the head. I basically needed to put them on when I was trying to figure out this part in his hair, and then I can trim a little bit more of this fur away to make his eyes, focus correctly. Again, he looks like a Furby right now. Once he gets his arms on and maybe get a little bit more brushing, he'll look more like a dog. So this is starting to give off a little bit of heat, which is good. Again, you could come in here and you could make nostrils. You could put a little bit more of the epoxy on here and give it a little bit. You could actually hit it with a little bit of texture if you wanted to. This stuff is just basically like clay. But yeah. Doo-doo-doo. You need to stop touching this thing is what it's all boils down to. Okay, I'm going to end this stream right now and then come back when it's dry, and I'll sand it and everything else and do the finishing on it so that you guys can see how that works. See you next time.